the craft room. We are live streaming today, and I'm super excited because we are juggling 3 dragon heads. Our blue glow-in-the-dark spiral, like it glows blue, which makes me really happy. And then we also have 2 other ones, a multi-eyed fire dragon that I'm going to be doing some work on, as well as a forest guardian reaper dragon skull. Is going to be awesome. So I'm really kind of nervous and kind of excited, so we'll see how that goes. I'm trying to see if I'm able to, here we go. It'd be awesome. Ooh, there we are. So how are all y'all doing today? What have you been up to? I hope you've had a great week. We've had a pretty good week. I'm not gonna lie. It's been kind of rough though too. So, so everything's been great except the air conditioner in our upstairs, like in our bedroom, which is upstairs, leak. Like, well, all window units like drip out the back, I guess. Well, this one started dripping inside the house, and I don't know when it started doing that. So now we had like the whole bedroom floor like was soaked. And that's fine. Everything's fine. It's resolved as much as throwing a band-aid on like something with gangrene is solved, but we just gotta limp along until after Dragon Con, and then we'll be good to go. So hey Stephanie, how are you doing today? Hey Squirrel Cottage, hi. Oh, but yeah, so that was a little bit of a doozy, and it's Dragon Con prep, y'all. Woo. We are in the days. It is August 1st. And so we have like, what, 25 days? Until Randy and I hit the road to start our pilgrimage to the Dragon Con. So yeah, the piece that we're working on today, we're working on this one here. We're going to be doing some different elements, and then we are also going to be working on this multi-eyed fire dragon here behind us, and then this big boy that's like it's going to be part like skull, part like it's like if it's a dragon that also has its bones showing, like a reaper forest guardian. I don't know. It's gonna be awesome, or not. I don't know. I'm excited about it. But hey Dee, she says hi Vaughn. How are you? I'm doing really well. We're first things first. We're getting some of these dragon eyes. They've been painted earlier today. And then I'm gonna be putting, this is some blue glow-in-the-dark clay, but it's got like dog hair in it. So I have to get the dog hair out before I bake it. Hey vlogger, how's it going? Hey Barbie, hey Mama Kay. Welcome everybody to the chat and to the craft room. We're just gonna be here crafting a little bit. So if you guys have any questions or anything that you want to chat about, just let me know. Hey Michelle, how are you doing today? Oh no, oh bother. Hey baby. Clay. Do you start with the real skulls? I don't, Shirley, because on these, I want them to be very, very lightweight. So what we did was we actually started by taking like a Crazy Bones, like from the Halloween decoration department, skull, and sculpting over that, and then we made a mold of that because it gave me some. It was cheaper than using aluminum foil, as the core. But then once we made a mold of it, we then cast it using a expanding polyurethane foam called, what's it called? Foam cast? Foam? What's it say on that box? Foam it. Foam it 8 is what we're using because it's self-skinning, and I had to start with something, and it seemed like the one to use. And that way, like, super duper lightweight. And it drills and sands really, really well. So I really like them because we can put them, shape it even further on the belt sander. And we have a couple other different designs uh, that we're working on making molds of. But y'all, check that out. This is the glow cosplay that we sent out in our July craft-along kits. I had some left over, so now I get to use it. Michelle says, doing good, tired but good, right on. Sometimes I feel great for feeling tired, if that makes sense. Like if I feel like I've earned it, like I've just come in from the garden or something. But there's been days lately that I like wake up tired and I'm like, I have not earned being this exhausted. And I don't think that's a healthy mindset for me. But I do very much prefer to be exhausted when I feel like I've earned it. So I hope you find peace with how you're feeling. My air conditioner in the living room and soaked the carpet and took a few days to figure it out. Oh no, poor Gracie got blamed for it at first because it had spread to where she sits. And that's, I thought, because we've got elderly pets, so I was like, did somebody decide that this is the new place to like have all, and by that point in the thought, I was already like peeling the rug back and I was like, somebody had all the bodily function, but no, it was just the air conditioner. Oh man, because we put those squish mats underneath the rug, that way I can just do yoga and stuff without having to worry about rolling the mat out. Like, if there's too many steps in the way, I will never do any sort of self-care. Like, it has to be super convenient. So I understand, man. But fortunately, we have, like, utility fans and stuff. We had everything we needed. It's just... And I feel blessed just to have a home. Like, you know, so all the happy homeowner bullcrap that comes with it, sounds like I'm complaining, and it's because I am, but I'm also very grateful and blessed. Yeah, it's been on the go all week. Oh, goodness. But yeah, I think the real skulls are really cool, though, and I'd love to be able to get, like, a 3D scan of a real skull and then be able to like 3D print it in something that's super, super lightweight but also very resilient, because that'd be cool. That'd be cute. All right. So we've trimmed down. I'm going to go ahead and get the camera flipped around for you guys so that you can see what on earth it is that we're doing. Let's see. But now that we're in the days, I super duper need to make sure that we are being just as productive as we can be. So I'm kind of set the camera here, and y'all let me know if you want it zoomed in or something. But other than that, I'm just going to kind of start going. I just got a new air conditioner today. It is so wonderful. Oh no. There is nothing quite like a nice new air conditioner though. Can y'all still hear me up there? Okay. Is this an alright angle, do you think? Cool. Oh, me too, Michelle. Did you see the video of it glowing? Man, we were FaceTiming Maddie, and we hadn't even seen it glow yet. And so I was on Randy's phone FaceTiming Maddie, and then Randy had my phone, and he was just trying to get pictures to send. And then, well, he had clicked record, but so it was, but just, I'm glad that he did, because to be able to capture a genuine reaction of seeing it glow for the first time. Like, I think he had just missed it, but we were still, like, in that moment. It was just the tail end of the moment. But, man alive, I'm so excited about how this glows. Well, hey, Jarno, how's it going? Oh, I had to show Edwin even. Did he like it? What do you think? What would his favorite dragon look like? Hey, Randy, if I give you these eyes on a tile, could you pop them into the oven for it? Okay. Oh, Michelle says, I just love it so much. He loved it. Nice. I'm in Switzerland. What time is it in Switzerland right now? Like, for you? Because it's only 4 in the afternoon here where I am. Like, is it bedtime for y'all? Uh-oh. Oh, no. Well, Randy, I've used all of my small tiles. So if you could take them in on this big boy, that'd be awesome. Just those two for now. Thank you, baby. Thank you, baby. All right. So I'm fixing to glove up. 11:12 p.m. Oh goodness. Yeah, that's past my bedtime. So the product that I'm about to be sculpting with is Freeform Air. It's by the company Smooth On. It's very, very nice. It's a 2-part like epoxy dough that is so like low density. It is so nice and like fluffy. 20 minutes, please. So I did, on the thickest setting of my pasta machine, I rolled out that blue glow in the dark Cos clay. I'm gonna bring y'all in just a little tighter because I need to be able to plug the phone in. There we go. The blue glow in the dark Cos clay. So that was about 1/8 of an inch thick. And I'm baking it in a preheated 275-degree oven for 20 minutes. Because Cos clay recommends doing it for like 30 minutes per 1/4 inch. So I figured I want it to be at temperature for at least 15 minutes. So that's why I'm putting it in for 20, is to give time for it to get up to temperature. In my experience so far, the Cos clay does not mind getting overbaked. Hey, Angel. Yeah, it's a dragon. What are some of y'all's favorite dragons from like pop culture or obscure references? Or just let me know which ones. Well, you have a good night, Jarno. Thanks for popping by. Wow, Natalie says it's also 11:14 here in South Africa. Wow. What's the weather like today for y'all in South Africa? We've been having a heat wave here in our neck of the woods, like triple digit up in the Fahrenheit. Well, it was like 98 degrees, but felt like 100 and something. So, but we've been having, like, it hasn't rained for like 2 weeks. So my poor garden is baking alive out there, but that's okay. I'm just gonna say hi and then go to bed. Gonna climb a mountain tomorrow. Oh my God, good luck climbing the mountain. I asked Edwin, and he stood here and looked at the TV for like 3 minutes, and then looked at me and said, "I don't know." Well, these are the questions we need to be asking. Like, would he like a blue dragon or a red dragon better? That's usually a pretty good place to start. It's like, just what color of dragon? Does it have wings? It's been getting real hot. Yes, it's winter time here, so it's pretty cold, but no snow at least. Can't wait for the summer. Oh man, right on. It got so cold last winter here that even through the heat, I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, I'm not ready for winter yet, but I know it's coming. I really like a lot of the dragons from Wormspan. I've never heard of that, Barbie. What is that? Is it like a comic book? My favorite dragons, says Lisa, are from Anne McCaffrey. Ruth the White Dragon. Yes. Oh my gosh, that was so cool to finally get to peek inside the mind of a dragon in that book. Like, because none of the other dragons, I don't know, we only ever heard what they were saying. Am I remembering this correctly even at all? Because Ruth could telepathically, like, well, what were some of the other, heck, I can't remember. Time to reread the whole series. Hey, Wandy, you're down? With the audiobooks? Yes, naturally. Could I ask you to help me with something? Can you prep me up like 10 pads of the things that are paper towels? I stole the roll, but I have dirty chemical hands. Windy. Winter Dragon, Ice Wing. Ooh, you build dens, raise and breed dragons. Oh, okay. Edwin's Dragon. Would it look like Zim from Dragon Prince on Netflix? Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I read Zim and immediately saw a dragon in Invader Zim artwork and was like, yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to look into Dragon Prince. I think Randy watched it. Yeah, it was a while ago. All right, so yesterday, woo.
Singles.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yesterday, we did some dental work on old glowy spiral here. Oh, babe, I just found 2. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and give me the 10, that'd probably be great.
Just now at 8.
Okay.
You want me to keep going?
Yeah. That happened to me with my air conditioner. I always keep a bucket under it, but you're supposed to tilt it back towards the outside more. We did, Lynn, but like we had it tilted because we ran into this problem a few years ago. And we thought we had resolved it, but yeah, that's true. It's been, regardless of whatever it was that we were fixing, it's been a couple of years since we'd have to mess around with it. But I remember us wedging it so it would lean to the back. But the windowsill, because our house's foundation, we got problems, y'all. In that, we got 99 problems, and the house is most of them. But I love it, and I'm grateful to have a home. But don't rule number 1 of home ownership. Natalie, thank you so much. Do what, honey? It's at least 70 of the problems. Yeah. Rule number 1 of home ownership is anytime that you think you've got some extra money, don't talk about it while you're in the house or while you're in your car, because I swear the house and the car can hear you. And if you say, oh, well, maybe we could save up for this thing, because the thing is Randy and I don't have extra money right now to do any of the renovations or anything. We were just talking about it of well, if we were to stay here, or what if we really, what if we fixed our house up. And then in 3 days, we had 3 different things go completely freaking sideways. But the foundation sinking, so the windowsill kind of cracked, and so the air conditioner was now leaning in. So that was fun. So you can see, this is whenever I mix the freeform air, my hands will start looking like this. I just take a little bit of water. Now, the freeform air is a chemical cure, so don't ever put your rinse cup down the sink or anything, because even though you seemingly have dissolved it, it's still going to solidify into a very fine silt in your pipes. But you can use water to kind of dissolve it, and then it'll kind of wipe off, which is really, really nice. I've never worked with anything that behaves like freeform air, because right now in its first stage, it's very putty-like. Let me actually see if I can zoom in just a smidge, because I don't want to be hitting my head on the camera, which is why I have it farther back today. But thank you so much, Natalie. Welcome to the Happy Crafter Club. Keep an eye out for members only posts on Sundays, where we do our coupon code for the week. We do different behind the scenes posts and things. Sometimes we'll have members only access on some of the videos. So just different things to keep an eye out for. But we really appreciate your support. Oh, hey Cindy, how's it going? So with the teeth here, I don't know if you're able to see. You might be able to, if you're watching on a phone, you might be able to touch and pinch the screen. Uh-oh, hey Randy. Can you refill my cup? My cup dryeth out. Yeah. And this cup's been the end of me as well. I don't know how many times I've spilled it this past week. 7, says Randy? At least. Alright. This camera angle is not gonna work. Wah-bang. Kerchow. Waddle. There we are. A curse splash. Thank you, baby. Alright. So we have our cup of Wawa. Thank you so much, Stephanie. have a hot water bottle and the heater on me. Oh, nice. That's the way to live. Lisa says, my favorite dragons are from my favorite author, Anne McCaffrey, most specifically Ruth the White Dragon. Please remind me more about Ruth the White Dragon, because I'm trying to remember. How are you doing today, Cindy? All right, and I'm just gonna so right now the freeform air is at its most fluffy. It's not as sticky as it could be by the minute, like it's getting less and less sticky, but it's also very, very soft and impressionable. So this is my favorite time to do shaping and blending work in the freeform air, and I just get a little bit of water on my fingertips. That way I can just blend. There we are. Now, something that we've learned in years past is I don't want to be putting teeth too close up to on the forehead, even though it might look cool. We don't get to just do what looks cool here. We've got to also do what's most comfortable to wear. And I kind of love having the different challenges around pieces like this because it forces constraints inspire creativity, I think. So by having to make it, wearable, it helps me know what size to make. It's like, so there it is. I don't have to worry about the scale anymore because it's got to fit on a person's head. Actually, our biggest constraint is it has to first fit through our doorway. So I can't make anything that's wider than, 36 inches at its widest point, because that's our widest door in the house. And then for, our current constraints, selling these, we're going to have these on display and for sale at Dragon Con. And we may have some up on the website even before then, just to help get us there. Just blending that out. So since we're prepping them up for Dragon Con, I've got to be able to fit all of them in the van. So that's going to be challenging for sure. I think we're going to be using the road bag this year, but if we can avoid using the road bag, that's always ideal, I think. Like, am I right in thinking that? Randy says, oh yes. Just because that's one less thing to have to worry about if we don't have the road bag. But it's good to know that we do have it just in case we really need it. So I'm just using my finger with my knuckle to shape around the gums. That sounds stressful and annoying. Oh, having constraints, or which part? Because sometimes I react exactly like how you'd think a human ought to, and sometimes I'm like, oh no, this is totally fine. Like, because I'm kind of loving the, I live for the dragon stress, really, at this point. I think I'm just, the workaholic in me is addicted to it. We've got some more helicopter traffic today. They are scooping water from the reservoir to haul to the fire on the mountain. Wow, by the north rim of the Grand Canyon. My goodness, Cindy. I hope you and yours are all, safe and everything. Man, that's scary stuff. It's dusty, y'all. It looks like it's not full-on sepia toned outside today, but it is kind of dust bowl-ish in our... Wow, the main lodge burned. Oh, no. That's terrible. The White Dragon was one of my favorites. Ruth and Jackson were an amazing pair, right? Hey, Cricket, how's it going? All right, so we have some shaping now done on the teeth. We're going to bring this around town. Around town. Wow, 80 miles away. Is it affecting your air quality and stuff? Like, what's that like? Alright, so now we've got some And also just a little bit of water, whoop, onto the hot glue and urethane foam. Helps it to stick, which makes me happy. Oh, working on a chainmail inlay. What kind of inlay? I think Randy and I are doing pretty well. How are you doing today, baby? He says he's all right. I've been a little mood swingy, but that's okay. Swing, swing from the tabletops. Do, 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 do. It's been a fantastic day, though, really, other than mood swinging my way through it. It's, I think, the worst thing that I ever could have done for myself, y'all, and this is serious. I'm gonna flip this around because I gotta talk to y'all. I didn't mean to mute it. The worst thing I think I could have ever done was get addicted to using a planner, because now, like, I get so stressed out at thinking about the work that I need to be doing, because for so long, you know, I started using a planner in like 2020, and I loved it. I mostly like just playing with stickers, but I felt this obligation and it got into this habit of, if I'm going to do something, I have to write it down. And that's terrible, because I hate like getting derailed when I'm like in the groove of something. And so I'd be like, oh, gotta stop everything and then go write it down. And even Randy was like, are you sure this is a good productivity tool? Because you spend more time doing things in the planner than you do doing the things that are in the planner. I was still getting my stuff done, but it was becoming like a real stress spot for me. And Randy's really good about, when he sees me not having fun with something I was obsessed about, he's like, he helps me check in with myself and be like, am I having fun? Or do I just feel obligated because I already sank this much time into it? Well, I was just feeling obligated because I had already sunk that much time into it. And using a planner was very helpful right up until it wasn't. But now I've got this like stress that I'll catch myself thinking about, you know, what I need to be doing, and I'll be trying to think of like what order I need to write it down in. Like, I got stuck in these like new neural pathways that at first were so exciting and like, is this what being organized is like? But it turned sour on me. And so I made myself stop using my planner. Like, I started weaning myself off of it because I had like multiple planners for stuff, and like it did not help being a workaholic, because even then, even if I had a full day and I got everything done, at the end of my day I'd be like, I gotta check my planner and mark everything off. Like, the work was never done, because then I'd be in my planner and I'd be like, well, let's look at what we need to do for tomorrow, like, or, you know. And so I'd always be trying to get ahead. And it's like, how many months ahead on having planned something out do I need to be before it's just, I'm just living in stress land? So I was just living in stress land. But I'm out of there now. I'm just trying to break some habits. Hey Lydia, how's it going? I live in a small tourist town in the middle from the North Rim, Zion National Park, and Lake Powell. Wow, I bet that's a beautiful area. Do you go out much and enjoy the scenery and stuff, or are you kind of like over it? Just joined, but have to say you have a great attitude. Well, hey Artie, I've been a sourpuss all morning, so you're catching the good attitude end. Some days it's very hazy, makes my allergies act up. Right on. Goodness. No, I meant your AC issues. Gotcha, Lynn. Yeah, no, 100%. That was just, well, it was fine. I don't handle my own made-up stress very well, but whenever something actually stressful is happening, Randy and I both just go into like work mode and we just get it done. Because that's when there's something terrible happening, that's just what you do. Like, I remember we were coming home, story time, we were coming home from a convention. I don't remember which one. This is back when we were doing like 30 some odd a year. But it was early in us being on the road like that, because we were on the road like that for like 5 or 6 years, I think. Is that right, honey? Well, is it right that we overall did over 30 shows a year for like at least 5 or 6 years? Yeah, okay. I just don't want to be, the fish we caught was this big, and over the years it's, I don't want to be exaggerating my own stories. It was raining, of course, or it might not have started raining. The tire went flat. Like, I don't know if it popped or if it just went flat or what. And Randy was driving because he does all of our driving. And this was the first time, this was early enough in our relationship that this was the first time that this stressful situation was happening for us. And not to brag, but at this point in our relationship, there's been so many of these instances of me like high-fiving myself, being like, yeah, girl, get it. This was one of those instances, and it was one of the earlier ones, because again, it was early in our relationship. Randy didn't have a fit. He didn't slam doors. He didn't talk like he was mad or... Randy says we were coming back from Memphis. It had not started raining yet, but there was lightning on the horizon, wasn't there? Right on. But Randy got out, and I held the little, like, because we had our Nokia brick cell phone. This is how long ago this was, you guys. And I don't even think it had a flashlight on it, but Randy had like a little keychain flashlight, because Randy is just the man. Like, he's... Can you put it on top of the kiln? Thank you. And I grew up in like a chaotic home, is the best way I can think to put it. And so I was under the full expectation of like getting yelled at because I'm like feeling like this is somehow my fault, because I was the one who wanted to be an artist in the first place. And if I hadn't wanted to be an artist, then we wouldn't have been driving away home from Memphis in the middle of the night, with the spare tire. This is back when we fit everything in our car. So we had to take everything, our whole booth, out of the car to get to the spare tire. And Randy was just, as focused and chill and reasonable to work with. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, and that's just how he really helped to set an example to me of a good way of dealing with, stressful situations, instead of panicking, instead of freaking out, instead of, kind of lashing out or anything like that. And I was just like, oh my God, is this a healthy relationship? And then I married his ass. But that was years and years and years later. But so in the air conditioner, I was a little frantic. I was like, I hollered down because it was first thing in the morning that I had discovered it, and it had to have at least been going all night. I hollered down. I was like, Randy, everything's okay, but I need your help. And so, like, and I hollered that we needed some towels and stuff, and the AC was dripping. And so, but, I could tell I had this stern tone in my voice, and Randy he's so, like, chilling, like, mellow. Brought the vibe right back down to where it needed to be. We got everything cleaned up. Fortunately, we keep the room that we keep all of our tie-dyes in, like our warehouse room now, basically. It used to be Nadi's room when she came and visited for the summers, but now it's a guest room closet that has all of our tie-dye in it, because nobody comes visit us anymore. That's all right though. But we were able to sleep in there, so everything was going to be fine, And then the next day, once the floor had dried out, we were able to pull the AC unit out of the window. And that's whenever we discovered the damage. And we were like, because we're going to have to cut into the wall. I don't know how far down into the first story wall that this goes. Like, I don't know any of this stuff. But we'll be vlogging it over on the Making It on a Quarter. We may not be vlogging it. We may not be vlogging it, says Randy. But, I can almost guarantee they're going to hear me bitching about it over there. So, but, we have a new vlog channel. It's where the gardening stuff's going to be going, because the Vonster vlog, for those of y'all who follow along with that, is just where I'm going to be documenting my dance and music journey. Because it's the only way that I'll actually show up and practice is if I'm body doubling by recording a video about it. So I'm telling myself it doesn't matter a bit if nobody watches it at all. I just need, it's a thing that I need to do. So now all of the hot glue is covered and the teeth have like some gums. I'm going to set this aside to let it set up, and we're going to check. I don't really think there's anywhere else on the back that needs more freeform air, because of, I need to, this part has to stay flexible, and that's something the freeform air is not, has no flex to it after it's dry. So I've got something else in mind for that over there. Now I am going to go ahead and blend here, because I don't want to cover up all of our little spots, you know. Let's see. When my kids were home, we'd do a lot of sightseeing and camping. Right on, Cindy. I have neuropathy, so my feet and legs won't let me hike so much they ache and hurt. That makes sense. Hey, Lydia, she says, I'm doing a live tonight. Ooh, chainmail bead capture. Oh, that's a great pattern. Oh, you'll do great, Lydia. Good luck to you. What time are you going to be streaming? Michelle says, I was just going to ask. I just wanted to share with you, Vaughn, say a million thank you all. You've always been so supportive of us. I wish you all the success in the world, Lydia. These are two souls who truly belong together. It makes me believe in fate. Honestly, I think we were two lost children who both had real similar trauma, and we're like, this is bullshit. Let's get out of here. And we were like, okay. And then, I don't know, he is the love of my life, but, right? But, the little teeth. Okay, so that's blended. I'm going to be blending just a little more this way. But thank you all for stopping in and listening to my rambling. This is not the last layer that I'm going to be doing on this, but I do want to just get a little bit more tucked and blended in there. Well, thank you, Lydia, so much, really. You're very kind. Now, also another thing that I really like about the freeform air is it's very sandable after it's been dried, and that's so nice that I can just take like a flexible, like one of those like, it's like a sandpaper sponge. Do those have a name? Randy's like, I don't know. Oh, you're live streaming at 8:30? Right on. Because I'm going to be adding in, see how we have those little dots on its face? It's going to have some like dotty scales around its schnoz that I think are going to be pretty cool. So I don't want to build up too much material right now. These are light, but they're heavy too, if you know what I mean. Anything's heavy if you're holding it up long enough, I think. So yeah, doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just trying to get boopable. And then I keep putting them on these cork heads in between working on them. We're going to be putting, in a perfect world, I'd have a glass head for each of the ones that I'm working on. That way I wouldn't risk getting these ones mucked up with chemicals and paint and stuff. But we're going to put some pantyhose over them before dragging, because those are our display cork heads too. You're such a good kitty. I can't pet you because I have chemical hands, but I love you. All right. So next one that we're working on is this bad boy. Hey, Deke, how are you doing today? Looking witchy, gotta love. Aw, hey, Walk, how are you doing today? Lydia, will you be streaming on YouTube or on TikTok tonight? Hey, Lita Lee, how are you doing today? So I gotta get this sculpted up a little more as well. We're gonna do some sculpting on either side of the nose. Though really, while I've got a lot of this clay, I don't need to be doing detail work. I need to be getting this laid down while it's still soft. And Randy brought us our eyes that we painted earlier, so we're gonna get the eyes set in here. They should be cool enough by now. There we are. I'm going to set them on the paper towel instead of on the granite. That way, hopefully they don't temperature shock. I do have my glue gun heated up over here. I'm all tangled. Give me just a sec, you guys. Oh goodness, how has this happened? Sports. All right, there we go. I'm back. Okay, the heat gun and the glue gun, their cords will get all twisted together, and then it was stuck under the tripod, so I apologize. Ooh, look at that. Love all the horns, right? Oh my god. Like, and check out the back. Ah! That makes me so happy, you guys. All right, we're going to flip this around so that you can see what's happening. Tripod farts. Activate. Is that the right direction? No. Okay. There we go. So this was one of the deer head by Crazy Bones. And they've got kind of like buggly eyeballs. Like their eyeballs are very sticky outy. So it's difficult for me to not make it super derpy looking. So that's going to be my goal, is to make it not look super derpy. And the crystal in the horns glow in the dark, Michelle. They glow like kind of blue. So I'm going to be painting all of like these with some of that invisible like blue, if that makes sense. So I've got some hot glue on the back of the eye, and then I'm filling in around there. And now I'm going to set this, and I use so much hot glue that way it like puddles in the back. And that way I can kind of change the position. Oh yeah. And then once I feel like I like where it's at, I can shape it around. And now we get to do the very fun part, trying to get this side to match. So I just use the hot glue as though it's like caulking, trying to fit everything together. So I don't just look at the eyes, I look at the eyes in relation to the rest of the skull. So I'm looking at the distance between the point of this curve and the crystal. I'm looking at where it's sitting in relation to this arch on the horn. I'm looking to see if it's looking at me at the same angle in relation to the snout. Which I've got a lazy eye, so I don't know, like maybe I make all of my work a little lazy-eyed. I mean, my eye's not nearly so lazy as it used to be. I had to wear a patch for a few years as a kid, but I always worry that I'm so left eye dominant that I have to like look at it straight on with just one eye. And that helps. Oh, Randy actually suggested the colors for these eyes that we have here. Like we kind of did it together because I was thinking of just dark blue, and then Randy was like, do an icy blue too. And I was like, okay. And so I did, and I love it. Now also, and I'm not criticizing the Crazy Bone skulls that I'm using as a base here on this one. We did not cast this. I wasn't going to screw around with trying to, yeah, I think it's like $24 for one of these heads on like Amazon. It might be more, like it might be $35, but I would rather pay that than try to make my own mold and casting of antlers like this. Outsourcing. Oh, Lydia says they're all beautiful, Vaughn. I went to adopt them all. Call me Dragon Mom. Oh, hey Hawk. I wore a patch over one eye for 3 years from age 2 to 5. Wow, right on. Yeah, I didn't get mine until like 2nd grade. They didn't even know that I needed glasses. And then it was just once I did start reading and stuff, it started getting like really, really bad. Okay. So now I'm going to take this and we're going to come up while that hot glue kind of comes back down to an ambient temperature. Something I had noticed is this asymmetry here and here. I need to go ahead and get that brought up to the level. And again, I'm just dipping my finger in some water, not to keep it from drying because the water doesn't make any difference in that. This is a chemical blend, so it'll cure regardless of how wet it is, which I think is pretty cool. But I use the water to help me smooth it out. Okay. And so now we're packing. Yeah, I use like EVA foam and hot glue. Like it's much lighter to use scrap EVA foam than it is to use hot glue to fill the gaps in the texture and stuff. Okay. Let's see if we can get this turned around. If y'all could do me a really big favor and tickle the like button or something. We rely pretty heavily on our YouTube ad revenue and stuff for like our living, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong with my channel, but I'm trying to figure out what we need to do to get in the good graces of the algorithm. So I think tickling the like button helps, but also no pressure. Like, there we go. It's the obligatory YouTuber. Oh, Hawk says, did you get my email about wire today? I have not checked my email in a little bit, so like as far as today, so depending on what time you sent it, I don't think I've read it yet. I think I'd gotten another one from you earlier in the week maybe, but I thought I replied to it. I'm so sorry. I'm so scattered. So I want this part to stay flexible, but I don't want to be relying just on the hot glue. The hot glue is not structural. It's a temporary hold until we get the freeform air on, because the freeform air holds paint so much better. I could, if this is all, even with the hot glue holding things on, if I go over it with the freeform air, I'm not so worried about leaving it in a hot vehicle because it's not going to get hot and one of the horns fall off. So I'm not joining the little sections, but I am going to go around each of these horns here. I smacked it. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Does hitting the little heart help with the tube? Oh, I don't know, but if you're having fun, keep doing it. Because that's the things, I just want to have fun with y'all, truly. It's okay, you'll reply when you can. Right on. Shameless self-promotion. Yeah. 100%. And so as tempting as it is for me to want to just join them together, I have to leave. I've got to make myself leave that little gap. Oh, Cindy, that does. I think it helps us out. But because it really, the best thing, the algorithm, it'll get itself figured out. I just want to make sure that y'all are getting notified that our videos are happening. That way, if you do want to see them, you know that they're there. And I want y'all to have a good time. Your time is precious. And it's like, I'm so tired of clicking on like clickbait, rage bait, boring ass videos. They don't have anything to do with, you know, what I thought they did. So I don't want to be part of that problem, you know, because I want to do what I'd want to watch. And I'd watch somebody sculpting dragons and complaining about the air conditioner. So. Alright. And now I do want to make sure that it is symmetrical in its application here. Ooh, coffee, 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 coffee. Oh, I've already had my I've already had my coffee for the day, so I'm trying to make sure I get good sleep so I don't have any more caffeine after my morning coffee. And on days like today where I go out and work in the garden for a couple of hours, it's from Sam's Club. It's called like chai, I think. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly because it's got some of the little blue over some of the letters. But it's like a protein shake coffee mix. And I'm like, okay, but it's got the equivalent of apparently 2 shots of espresso in it. So that's like a lot of caffeine for me. So, but it's yummy though. I put an additional tablespoon of cocoa powder in it. And it makes it like a really nice, like dark chocolate mocha. But yeah, so while the clay is still nice and sticky, and I've rolled it out into a snake like this because it reduces the mass, I suppose. Is that what it is? Somebody who knows, please correct me. But it reduces like the thermal mass or something. Like if I've got a big old glob of it, it's going to get hot fast. Whereas if it's rolled out like this, it doesn't heat up as quickly. And so it doesn't, you know, like being hot makes it cure faster. Dang it, Jim, I'm a sculptor, not a scientist. I gotta learn this stuff, though. Because I desire to understand why my sculpting mediums behave the way that they do. Ooh, I also post something I did today. Right, I think, Hawk, if you could resend that to me, I think I did get that email, but I hadn't replied yet because I couldn't figure out, like, there weren't any attachments or anything. Were you asking about wire gauges? Oh, my head hit the tripod. It's coming back to me now. I'm so sorry. It's been a crazy day. I don't mean to make excuses. Well, thank you, Sassy Cat. I just saw your comment. Said the eyes look amazing. Very realistic. Well, thank you very much. We did just a few layers. I did the black for the pupil, and then I did black around the edging to give it that dark, like, edge of the iris look. And then I did a deep, like, very, very dark blue, like, metallic. All of it was nail polish because I like that metallic quality that it has, like a high gloss. And I just don't feel like I get that as well with acrylic paint, which is a shame because I hate the way nail polish smells. Like, I can't do it in the house. I have to paint on the porch now just because I cannot stand the smell. I want to be able to make sure that that key ring still moves freely. Gotcha. Lita says, I don't look at them as excuses. I look at them as the reason why. Well, yeah. Female is about wire and also the camp out. This morning I posted something I made and it hasn't aged. Oh goodness. Well, that seems like a much healthier mindset than how I treat myself. So I should work on that, I suppose. Oh, it's so satisfying when the clay just slips like that. Like, whoop. Now, I like to do the lower lid first, typically. What you up to, Ember Cat? Hey, Ren. Could you pet her for me? I got chemical hands. I know. Oh, she says... she begs to differ. Oh, Ember baby. You sweet thing. So I'm just going to do a little bit of material. And again, putting some of that water on the plastic of the Crazy Bone skull can help a little bit in getting it to adhere. Okay, and then we can remove some material, getting my fingers nice and wet. And you can see I am really kind of just globbing this on there, and then I'm gonna just pinch, because on both of my hands, the pinch point, this little triangle that it makes between my finger and thumb, that shape, is kind of the same on both sides. And so I like to start at the back and just pinch, pushing forward. And this is going to help me to remove some excess material. Just kind of getting my finger there into the tear duct. Getting my fingers wet again. And now I'm going to press down and up. Like, kind of in and up, I guess. And now we can begin blending that bottom eyelid. And then just dipping my finger in water and running it over the cabochon. And then I like to use, I'll pull my glove tight. I wear the tightest gloves I can find. I have very small hands, so the mediums are still pretty baggy on me. But I have to special order the smalls, so we just get them at Sam's Club. But I'm just using the back of my finger to run along the edge there. And then we can, I don't know, that made like a weird, there we go. And I try to not worry about making it be any sort of particular way. I just want to make it how it's gonna be and get it to be nice and smooth and blended to get it to look like it's supposed to be how it is. It doesn't gotta be perfect, it's just gotta look like that's how it is, if that makes sense. And now I'm gonna repeat this process on the other side. This is why I have all these paper towels, is because this glass head wobbles so much, and that makes me crazy. That's okay though. And so again, starting from the back, kind of pressing up and in. We're just going to get those lines smoothed down first. Like, I want to get the biggest movements done first. And smoothing is so much easier if you can just smooth over the whole thing. For me, at least. It's a lot easier if I can just smooth over the whole thing. And now we're going to come in and we're going to set that bottom tear duct. There we go. And now we're going to press up and in. Very cool. I'm very pleased with that. Oh, Lita says, is it this month we get the clay in the kits? We sent out clay in July's kit. So August's kit is actually going to have easy wrap groovy cabs. Each kit's going to have at least one groovy cab. And like the 55s and stuff, we try to spoil y'all whenever you get those big kits like that. So so much of it is going to depend on what I can get done without my hands giving out on me. But I'm very hopeful. Well, I know for a fact that we're going to have at least one in each kit. So of the easy wrap groovy cabs. And some wire is what you can expect in August's kits. And so again, just like with the horns on the back, and now just like on the horns on the back, I'm not relying on that hot glue to hold the crystals and stuff on. I'm coming through and sculpting over it with the freeform air. Now I've done just the bottom lid on this eye, and I'm gonna let that cure before doing the next step. And this is why I like to work on multiple projects at once, is this freeform air takes like 24 hours to cure. And sometimes you don't have to wait, the full 24. It can harden up enough that I could work on it without having to worry about accidentally poking it with my fingernail. But I can be such a klutz sometimes, you guys, that I'd rather not risk it. Like, that's my preference, is to not risk it. So I'm just going to let it cure. And if I can work on, 3 or 4 dragon heads throughout the course of a day, I can do a couple of steps on this one, a couple of steps on that one, go and do some other projects, so I keep pollinating just a millimeter here, a millimeter there, getting progress made on projects. But over the course of, weeks and months, and, I do think it starts to add up. Okay, now this one I do want to do as a skull style nose. So I'm going to continue building up what I consider the bone layer. The lid is a little like that's some of the flesh layer. But I want to try to get all of the hot glue covered so that, because hot glue just doesn't accept paint very well, especially over the long term, is my thoughts on it. I'll have to check my kit. I love the cabs so much. Oh, right on, Lita. Oh, the spiral dragon's doing real well. I'll show you here in a minute. Yesterday was so it wasn't unproductive. I just didn't make as much progress on the heads as what I wanted to when I woke up that day. But it worked out perfectly fine because I was able to make canned pickles, which is something that I've never made before. And I don't know how they came out because I haven't opened up the cans yet. But one of them, I called it the ass blaster because it blew out the butt of the jar in the canner. Because a lot of my jars are pretty old now. But Randy was like, Mick, what? Did you just, what? And I was like, it's the ass blaster pickles. He's like, no, you can't call it that. But it'll blow out the bottom of your jar. So we get to kind of build and design the shape and the bone structure of our dragon here. So to me, this is where its wisdom teeth would be. This is purely imaginary from here, you guys. Reality's cute, but I'm making my own dragons. So I'm not worried about things being perfectly realistic, but I do like to draw inspiration from reality when it suits my whims. There's a little more of a dimple right there. than what I wanted for there to be. And so the more I can build up symmetrically-ish right now, as I add more layers in the future, that's going to be really helpful. It doesn't need to be perfect. And I can touch and feel, because it fits the shape of my fingertip a little better now. Hey Randy, do you think I should do the spines down the nose of this one, or just have it be bare bone from like here back? Oh my god. Yeah. Look at him with that Ember cat. Oh, she's such a good girl. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love y'all so much. It makes me so happy with her sassy little beans. Okay. Well, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to work on the under jaw right now, so I'm going to continue work on the back. Oops. Don't mean to hit the tripod. All right. So I don't actually want to draw it out too thin on the sides, because I don't want the freeform air to be inhibiting any of the flex. I just want it to be covering up the hot glue. Randy's pretty awesome. I agree, Lydia. Yeah. She looks so much like a sea otter to me when she lays on her back like that. He's holding the boss. He is. Aw. Well, helper's gonna help. Mr. Puddums is a fairly decent menace whenever it comes to weaving chainmail, so I don't know what's wrong with, because Mr. Puddums is the neighbor's cat. Like, it belongs to the neighbor's, like, teenaged son. And he's, like, young teenaged. But something happened to Mr. Puddums that his tail doesn't, like, work anymore. And he's got this, like, sore lump because he doesn't like getting petted on his lower back or near his tail anymore. But, like, he's not, I don't know. I mean, he still seems to be functioning just fine, except for it's like he has nerve damage or something. I can't hear you. Randy says if you call that I know, but God. But I just worry for him because he's such a tomcat, and but it's, you know, not my cat, not my circus. I don't get to just take him to the vet. I'm sorely tempted, but if he's still not better after Dragon, we'll see. But yeah, no, we were talking about, you know, if we do well at Dragon Con, like, we're so hopeful. But there were things that we were interested in repairing on the house. And the house heard that and just started breaking. He's a good feller. He keeps me company when I'm out in the garden. Because he'll get hot and go and bark, and Randy will let him in. But Mr. Puddums, he'll just hang out there with me all day. Okay, so there's that. I think that's looking pretty good. Let me cover this foam over here on this side. And so, yeah, we're using it up pretty well. It's getting a little firm, the freeform areas, but that's all right. I mean, I mixed it up. It's been, what, almost an hour? Now you can put freeform air into molds, like silicone molds, if you are ever using some for a project and you're like, oh no, I mixed too much. I could take this and cram it into a mold to be able to utilize, in some other way. Which I think that's pretty nice, being able to do that. She's good when I get to my desk to work, but at my coffee table for watching you as I prep for my live, so it's not 10 hours. Oh no. Oh, well, thank you, Lydia. They probably heard it. Yeah, I don't know. He's got no mistrust to humans at all, so I don't think anybody was mean to him. I just think he might have gotten it, like, shut in a door or something, perhaps. Like, he fights with all the other tomcats in the area. But, like, Mr. Putham's first time he meets anybody, because he met my sister and her daughters, and he was a complete ham and cheese sandwich. Like, no fear of other humans at all. So I don't think he's being abused. I just think he's running amok being a tomcat, Mold cramming, too tech for me. Well, we all start somewhere. So I am going to blend over as much as what I can see and access. On this skull. Again, just trying to, yeah, no, this is a different neighbor, Michelle. Yeah. No, I'd have stolen him by now if he was the other neighbors. Yes, you're right, they have a history. But, I mean, if you don't supervise a brand new puppy and I find it in my yard for like a month and a half, at some point, that's my puppy now. Especially when she gets parvo. Anyways. I just love getting to pet a cat when I'm out in the garden. Lydia says, I bet your dragons come to life after you go to bed. Oh, goodness. I should give them hands so they're not bored. No, Mr. Putham's is not fixed. Which I think seems to be the source of a lot of his wandering and getting into mischief. But again, not my cat. So, I don't know. If I were a real witch in the woods, I'd just up and steal him and get him all the medical attention he needs and... Yep. Yep. Exactly, myself. Okay, so now we're getting this blended up in here. I know. Are you shaming me? I'm sorry. But I don't have the money to steal my neighbor's cat right now. Maybe after Dragon. Gotcha. Ooh, we got a little more. We're getting close. And I may change my mind on the snout and end up making it like a dragon snout as well. We'll see. But this is why I let it happen, a stage at a time to really let it grow and evolve. I want to give the dragon its own space to be whatever it's going to be. Because I certainly don't want to get in the way of it turning out cool, you know? Gotcha. Yeah. These are good points, you guys. There we go. I'm just going to put... Yeah, I'm going to leave that little bit flexible. That'll be good. There we go. I really wish the little heart thing wasn't where it is. There we go. Do you still have the little water dragon you made? Which one? Do you mean Snaggletooth? Or the one that was on the paintbrush? I ended up smushing that one because he fell over and got squished. Do what, Randy? The one on the paintbrush. Ah, Lita Lee says, my birthday is September 2nd. I've been thinking about going to Atlanta that weekend. The place you can dig for crystals close to there. Ooh, that's neat, Lita. Well, happy early birthday, too. September 2nd. What day is that on? Is that a Monday? Or, I don't even know. Oh, my God. I think that's Dragon Con weekend, isn't it? Ooh. Alright, so we've got just this little bit more of clay that I'm going to use to fill in this space here just to get it a little more symmetrical to the other side. But that way all of our freeform air is used up, and then I can go through and start actually like texturizing some of this stuff. All right. So now I'm going to take this ball stylus and I'm just going to start. Let's get you zoomed in for this, you guys. There we go. So I dip the end. Hey, Saki girl, how's it going? Sometimes the ball stylus will start to build up material, so I've got a paper towel in my non-working hand, my left hand. And it's not like super important that we do a bunch of texture here. It does help, I think, the layers to merge whenever I, add more spots and stuff to it. Can you check on if her stools for her, like, can she get to her food? Thank you. She just sounds so pitiful. And I know it's because she just wants some of the cat treats. Ow. And you can turn the oven off, honey. Thank you. Well then, I don't know, Ember. I tried. It's about 3 o'clock, isn't it? Saki girl says, hope everyone is doing great. I'm doing pretty well here. My day's getting better all the time. And so I'm going to come in and do just a little bit of texture. There, under the eye.
Yeah, it was 3 o'clock.
And again, I don't want, my tool. Sometimes some of the spots will have like a weird pucker in the middle. and I don't want that. So, trying to keep my tool clean. Fantastic, loving all the dragon pics. Are you sending? They look amazing. Oh, thank you, Saki girl. I've been having a lot of fun playing around on social media here lately, which that's not something I would have ever thought that I would say, because it had been kind of stressing me out for a while, but I feel like I found my way back around to enjoying it again. Okay, so there's that. We're gonna turn this. Is there a way to like polish this? Like the tip of my tool? There we go. I don't worry about getting freeform air on the eye, like the cabochons, because it just scrapes off real easy after it's dry instead of smearing it around all thin, trying to get it clean while it's still wet. And if I can get my airbrush working, I end up taping up the eyes and having to do like a final cleaning on them anyways, so I kind of just let it, I don't stress it. If it gets messy, it gets messy. I'll be putting latex layers. Actually, Randy may be helping me with that this year. I need to find my latex and make sure it's still good. Have they started putting out Halloween stuff yet? I need to sneak into a Spirit Halloween and buy some latex. This is good exercise for the brain using our left hand. Non-dominant hand, whichever one you usually use, try just mixing it up. Ooh, candy pumpkins. Hey Viking, how's it going? Holy smokes, it's been ages. How are you? Ooh, the Spirit there where you are is opening on the 22nd. Very nice. But yeah, I just use the cheap like Walmart or dollar store latex for latexing off the eyes and horns and crystals for airbrushing. Alright, so there's that. Well, this one's not alive yet. We must keep working. Now I'm going to use my continuous mist sprayer just to get some liquid on there. That way I can... It just lets it drag and blend so much nicer, I think. So I'm starting with this like a growth pattern strata. I never know how much of what I'm doing at this stage is going to still be visible later in the piece, but I've never regretted practicing details in now, because it's another opportunity for some art and evolution to happen. I'm not even in frame. Goodness gracious, y'all. And now I'm going to do just a gentle stippling, firmer towards the base, and then just kind of tapering it off as I go up. Well, hey, JW, how are you doing today? I'm well. It has been a long time. How are y'all? We're limping along. We're getting through. Oh, Lydia says, you must be proud of your dragon sculptures. I'm sure Randy's proud of you, Vaughn. I think Randy's proud of me. I do. I'm more excited. I don't, it's not that I'm not proud of the dragons. I just, feel more lucky just that I get to make them at all. Maddie told me, she's like, they look like they're from a movie, and I felt pride in that, like that she thought so highly of my work. Cause she grew up around it, so she doesn't like. Cause y'all, some of y'all lavish me in compliments to the point that I'm like, oh goodness, like I don't know what to say, but like Maddie just like kind of expects it from me maybe. So to get another compliment from her is like, it makes me so happy. And she's seen the whole struggle, like she's seen the behind the scenes struggle of me trying to figure out how to use TikTok and stuff. All right, let me get this turned around. Tight quarters with all the cameras and tripods and lights and water bottles and all that good stuff. But we're getting it. All right, there we go. Waiting on the eye to blink. That's cool. Now here in the back, I'm not going to texture this back part. Yes, I am. Because again, the magic happens in the details. You never know. I don't want there to be a single spot on these where it looks like, she cut a corner there. Because, my initial thought is nobody will see it. Nobody's going to care. I'm not going to, I won't bother. And then it's like, I see it. I care. And that's very, very satisfying whenever I get to create something that makes me happy, that meets my standards, not just trying to be efficient. I've got not to sound bitter, but I would not trust Hollywood with any of my props. They'll let some of their stuff just sit and rot in those warehouses, or they'll disappear entirely. Hollywood can have one of their people watch one of my tutorials and they can make it their own selves. I'm still a little butthurt about whenever we didn't get the contract for the chainmail for the Transformer, the third Transformer movie, the one with the dinosaurs. But just that we got contacted at all on that was a lot of fun. Very exciting. But yeah, you can see, you may be able to see how whenever there's a little bit more water on the surface, the clay drags a little more smoothly. And I like that. Sometimes it'll crumble a little, and that's alright. We'll just put some more liquid on it and go. And then something disappears, it's at someone's home. Yeah, right? Sometimes I'm afraid that my incompetence will hold me back from massive opportunities. Because last year at Dragon, we had somebody, and they might have just been blowing hot air. I have no idea. But we had somebody being like, I work for a video game company. I always think it's sus when they won't say what video game company they work for. But he's being very vague. It was like, I work for a video game company and we have a game coming out that'd be really cool to have you sculpt some stuff. And we never got contacted by them, but it was exciting to, give somebody our card and be hopeful and excited, because that'd be pretty cool. But then I watch Notbush on Kick. I think he's on Twitch and stuff too. Very talented sculptor. And he was sharing the progress of one of his sculptures that he's doing for a video game, and just talking about the way that he was talking about the time frame that they wanted and needed things by, and the references that they provided him in different things. And I felt a whole lot of relief, which is not the, I work for money. I shouldn't feel relieved whenever I don't get work, but I felt very relieved that I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad I didn't have to do all that, to work for, with a company on their design. It's like, I just want to make what I want to make. That's where the happy artist in me lives. And I gotta feed that for a little bit. So that's my favorite thing about these dragons, is I get to let that part of myself outside and play. And be like, I'm just gonna do what I want to do, the way I want to do it, on the time frame that, I gotta have it made by Dragon, but that's on me. But I'm afraid that, what if my incompetence, even if presented with a good opportunity, if I wouldn't be able to keep up? I don't know. I like to hope that I'd rise to the occasion, but you never know. I'd love the opportunity to find out. Again, resisting the urge to blend these together. I gotta keep them separate, that way it maintains that flex point. Oh, that's awesome, Lydia. We're living your fantasy while you're creating these beautiful dragons. Oh, well, that's pretty cool. Sometimes I wish I were better at illustrating so that I could write down the little, or animate or something, the little scenes that I have in my head whenever I'm out in the garden, and I'm seeing the dragonflies dancing over the mermaid pond. It's really just a frog bucket with some grass and stuff around it and some mermaids from Hobby Lobby, but I like it. I like it a lot, actually. And it's magical to me. But it makes me think about if there were just two little blue dragons, instead of dragonflies, dancing around and puffing little orange flames. And because that's how, in my head, that's how, if dragonflies were dragons, that's how they'd eat mosquitoes, is they'd flamethrower little, like the shoulder dragons, or the fire lizards. Is that what they were calling them in Anne McCaffrey? How they just shoot those little tongues of flame. But I'm not a very good illustrator so far. Not where on the level I'd like to be at all, for sure. And I've done a total of 1 animation ever. So I'm not there yet. But I can sculpt better than I can animate so far. So I'm just going to sculpt all the things that I see in my mind. My cousin is in the stunt coordinator for the movie you just spoke about. He also is Jeff Bridges and Nicolas Cage's stunt double. Holy smokes, Mama Kay, that's pretty cool. I wonder, does he enjoy that kind of work? Or I hope they take good care of him, you know? Okay. So there is that. We are going to get this flipped around. And we're probably going to have a little bit of a break here for a minute. So I can get some more water. That's horrifying. If I just stopped here, that's horrifying. Like, what in the name of midsummer? Like, is this? All right. I will be right back, you guys. Be good. Alrighty, y'all. How's it going? We got the kitty, we got the beans, we got the kitty beans. Oh, so that's a fair bit of progress. We've got a little more than an hour left in our live stream today. And I think we're gonna work maybe yeah, let's start working on the spiral. Okay. Let's start working on the spiral dragon again. When she has her fill, she lets me know, and she hates it when I kiss her feet, but I can't help it. I love kissing her little beans. Her filthy little kitty beans. That's just me, though. I can't help myself. All right, there we are. Let's make sure the cell phone isn't popping out of the tripod. Alright, now we've got some wet clay on the teeth, but that'll be alright. because we're primarily going to be working on the back. I just want to draft it out. Because if I need more of the little scales, then I can go ahead and start making more of the little scales before I just lost that tool. There it is. I like to have all the scales that I need ready before I sit down and just start gluing everything together, just because it really helps my workflow. Okay, so each of these are we cut them out with a stamp, and then we heat and shape them. And then, ooh, some of them, that invisible paint isn't completely invisible. I'll keep that in mind. I want to show you though. I don't know if it'll pick up on it. It's got a little bit of a fluorescent. It has glow in the dark purple on it. So do you see how that reacts? That's cool to me. I think that's really neat. And then y'all check it. Check this out. Oh yes. So this is fluorescent and glow in the dark. Like, I think, please correct me if I'm wrong, but anything glow in the dark will fluoresce also, right? Like, so I don't know if you can see, but like, yeah, whenever, oh, when it tilts down, you can, let me plug my charger back in. All right, so what we'd be doing with this, and I'm going to go ahead and grab my wire snips that I don't mind if they get super jank, because we're going to be cutting through wires on here. So now that I've shown you all of our scales, this is the invisible paint that I'm using. It says Invisible Glow. It's by Folk Art, and it's the Purple Pop Violet glow in the dark acrylic paint. But it dries relatively clear. I did it super thick, apparently, in that spot, and I don't know if that's what happened or what, but it did leave a little bit of spotting. Not my favorite. But now I know. And it was on like maybe just one or two of the scales. I love these old Potomac bead boxes for just storing things in for a little while, because it lets me free up work surfaces. Okay, so there's that. Now I can set this here. It's super cool, and they have it in green and blue as well. And it's just beautiful. So I kind of like the rose with the more forward-facing angle. Yeah, and kind of recessed like that, because this is the perfect time to try it at all sorts of different angles. And I usually like to leave just about an inch on the silk floral. And if you can see, it's very, very subtle. You know, we should go through with some of the invisible paint and make these glow purple too. Randy says, yeah, we'll do that. Let's figure out how we're going to have this set up and mounted. And then we will paint some flowers. Because I love the, like, fusion belly dance headdresses. And this really reminds me of those fusion belly dance headdresses. Now, what do y'all think? Do we do the roses a little higher up in the curve of the ram horn? Like this? That's pretty. I like that. Or do we do the rose a little farther forward and lower down? And because I can compare where on the back, those symmetry points of where the roses are coming down to. You know, I don't know. Because all of this space in here is going to be filled in either with those homemade foam scales, or look at what your hoarder found in her craft room drawer. Feather trim. And so what I was thinking was we'd come in here on the back. We'd have, yeah, I need to cut that shorter. Faux show. So we have our stump, and we're going to go like that. And it just flies across the room. So watch your eyeballs. And then this would get glued in like right now. But angled up just a little bit because I think it fills beautifully, and it fills in that gap between the roses on the back, kind of. So then from here out, and it's got such a nice, like, the sheen on these rooster feathers is crazy. Like my chicken Clove she had this coloring. So I was thinking about using this trim along, like, to cover that edge, and then we'd fill in with the scales. So I don't know, we'll have to see, but I'm feeling really good about the direction that we're going in. I've got a mess of other feathers in different sizes that are not trimmed. They're just loosey-goosey, which thank you, Hawk, for all those tips on how to... Do I do this one too? Like, what about that? Is that silly? That looks a little silly. I kind of like it. I don't like it. I like it better without it, though, maybe. Let's go ahead and paint these flowers up with some glow-in-the-dark paint. I'm going to use a stiff bristled filbert brush. Not a filbert. Purple flower add? Okay. We'll have to figure out the spacing for it, but I'll go ahead and paint it with some glow so that it matches with the other ones. Aw, Mama Kay says, I love how you create as you go with your imagination. That's what I do. I don't have a workout plan. I have something in my mind, and then I go with it. Right on. Sometimes embracing the chaos works, and sometimes it's a mess. But, you know, we live for it. And I'm just using the cap. Cheers, everybody. Don't drink this. Hey, honey, do you have any more of that? Let me rummage through my trash. Do you have any more of that, like, scrap cardstock that I could use? Alright, that'd be perfect. Thank you. And I lost my water. Could you, if you find it, will you give it to me? Okay, so I'm just going to be using a piece of cardstock on this. Because it's here. Ah, hey, Erica. She says some feathers popping out around the top rows would look nice. Ooh, yes, it would. Thank you. Thank you, baby. 7. Okay, so we can take this flower apart. This actually reminds me of those flowers that, Michelle, that you made your acorns out of. But I'm going to just take off the little back piece. And I'm saving all these pieces because we're going to piece them back together. But now we've got these like cool little sea urchin jellyfish layers of flour that I can then, let's see how they're stacked. It looks like it goes big. I want to keep them in order, actually, if I can. So I'm just going to take them off one at a time. Let me glove up using one of my husband's gloves because I don't need them super tight for this one. I just don't want to have paint all over my hand. Hey, Amy, we are making flowers, big glow-in-the-dark flowers, using this invisible purple Papa. Do I paint both sides? Is this the right side? I don't know. But we're going to dip it. And we're going to be very generous. Like this is a decoupage paint. The silk floral can take it. I actually think it improves the quality. This is nice silk floral, I think. But if you ever get some that's like cheap or like thrifted, so it might be a little ragged, using the acrylic like it's a decoupage glue can really help to seal those ragged edges. You can give new life and vibrancy with the paint to your thrifted silk floral. And so now that we've got it painted, though, quite generous, trying to be quick as we can, I'm going to come through and I'm going to use a knitting needle to come up through that center because I don't want this touching anything while it dries. And I'm just going to set it over here in my rack. And that was my only knitting needle. So, crap. It's kind of fun. Nah, I'm going to just flop this around until it's kind of dry. And then set it off to the side. Because it didn't, hanging it on, I appreciate you, but hanging it on the knitting needle, some of the petals overlapped. Oh, and look at it. It left a cool pattern on the paper. Okay. I'm going to set it on a piece of silicone. That way the acrylic dries. It's right here in front of the AC, so it should dry pretty quick. Making sure none of the petals are touching. Very good. Next petal. Maybe a little glitter while the paint is wet. I have a no glitter policy in my craft room, but I do have some shimmer paints that we might hit it with. I can't be trusted with glitter. If it's not suspended in something, I can't be trusted. Wow, this is kind of pulling some of the pigment off of the silk floral, actually. That's wild. And I may need to do multiple layers of this. I would rather do multiple thin layers than be heavy-handed and globby with it. Oh, well, that's a good idea. I've got some different sized bamboo sticks, but just the way that it was hanging down, the petals were overlapping, so I think it's going to be better to have it dry. Flat. Oh, that makes me happy. And this is why I go ahead and glove up. So I'm just going to take that. I'm going to set it over here. Whoop. Nice and flat and easy. Sometimes the fun way is not an efficient way, but I'm glad I tried it anyhow. Just doing another one. It's very kind of you, Lydia. Oh, it's so much fun. Like upcycling this, I don't know why I haven't done it more, but I'm finding myself creatively. It feels like I'm finding myself all over again, I'm gonna be honest. And this is just drinking it up too. Very cool. I'm just coming through, lifting it up. There's our layer 3. How can you have creative chaos if you are efficient? It's all about finding balance. If I delve too greedily and too deep into the creative chaos, I don't really get anything done. And so I try to let the two halves of my brain have a dance off, like a dance battle or something. Never really thought of it that way, but it really is about just trying to find a balance between letting myself be free and creative and actually getting stuff done. These are not real flowers. These are silk floral, probably from either Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Walmart, or Joann's back when they were open. My fear for real flowers is that they would be too delicate, but that'd be amazing. I don't know if I would do that on one that's intended to be worn. Just because it seems like that's something asking to break, you know? And now we've got this very cool little plasticky support piece. Don't ever be afraid to take things apart, you guys. It's very satisfying, very fun. So we did large, medium, supporty thing. And then small, so small. Ooh, too so small. And I don't think I'm going to pull off the center bit because I don't think I'll ever get it back on as nice as what it is. Just getting those petals painted. Do what, baby? Oh, at the Dollar Tree? Okay, we'll have to go and check that out. Because honestly, painting with acrylic is kind of how I've run out of silicone places to put things. So like these silicone trivets, I think are just perfect for something like this because I want it to have good airflow and I don't want it to be sticking to the surface as it dries. But I normally like to use a really plasticky, textured silk floral in my like fairy houses and stuff, but doing all these layers of acrylic paint I think might get me that effect that I'm looking for of it being stiffer and slightly more robust than just die cut fabric. So I'm really interested to see where we go with this. But yeah, the first time I did anything like this was I had like one of those composition notebooks that I was turning into every time I'd get seed catalogs. I would cut out all the pretty pictures of the flowers that I wanted. Actually, I'm not done with that yet. And I would use like a glue stick, and I used the glue stick like it was Mod Podge glue over like a sunflower, like that I had taken apart, and then put like something else in the middle to make it, like I don't know. It was fun. I knew I was a little too much into workaholic mode whenever I started doing crafty things and being like, this is why people craft. Like I was rediscovering the fun of it instead of just enjoying my work day. Like it's important to have fun, and sometimes all you gotta do is just mix it up to be having fun again. All right, so getting a little bit more into the into our lid here. And now for this one, if I'm not taking it apart, I try to find the backmost layer. And then I'm just going to rotate like clockwise, I guess. It doesn't really matter. I just rotate around. And I try to do all the petals in that layer. It's very satisfying. I can't wait till we get the airbrush up and running. It's cool enough today that I may do it after the live stream. But it's just, it had been so hot. And God, the mosquitoes. I thought because it hadn't rained, the mosquitoes would like go dormant or something. They were out for blood. Like, they needed our blood just for water content is what it felt like. Woof. And don't forget, you don't gotta neglect the back sides of petals either. Now, my worry with doing both sides at the same time is I don't want the acrylic to behave like a glue and glue the layers of the leaves together. Dear parent people, my dad. Oh, okay. Oh, Lita. I'm so sorry. I'm glad y'all get to be together. Yeah. Just never ready for it. Our hearts are with you, Lita. Michelle says that's right, most of mine. Oh, well, I'm glad you think so, Lydia. And if you miss some petals, well, that's just fine. And if you can't tell if, did I already paint this one? I don't know, just paint it again. It'll glow all the more. So yeah, just painting our hearts out. I was making tree life pendants and wire wraps while we were sitting in the ICU for Randy's mama. When in doubt, craft it out. Alright, I think I already painted that one, but like I said, we're just going to paint another layer. Lita, we are right there with you as much as your favorite strangers from the internet can be. Well, we've all either been there or will be one day. And I don't have any, what words are there to say? But I can at the very least offer a distraction. Rebecca says, what are you actually doing? I'm painting flowers with glow-in-the-dark paint so we can glue them to a dragon head and live our best floral dragon lives. What are you doing? So, yeah, at first I thought this was just going to be a terrible idea doing the acrylic paint, but the first, 3 layers went really well, so I'm just going to keep going. And then I just kind of I just stir the pot whenever it gets to the middle. Do you guys see what it looks like fluorescing? I unplugged it. I'll plug it back in. Are you ready? Okay, so what we're gonna have to do is hide this under the table so we can see if it glows or not. That's pretty neat. We should do, okay, all right, crap, all right. Let me flip this around. What?
It's a crack.
I was hoping it would glow. All right, I'm gonna set that right there. And then we're gonna... Are you glowing? I can't tell. It's bright outside. Eee! Eh. Is it glowing? I can't tell. But what we should do is we should put some blue after this has dried. After this purple layer has dried, we should do some of the blue translucent glow on the the edges. This I painted the whole leaf. I want to bring it down to a blue glow. It's gonna be so cool, you guys. I mean, it's glowing very, very slightly, but like in this weird UV way where it looks just like a blacker black even though it's glowing slightly purple. I freaking love it. Oh, Rebecca says, oh wow, I watch you, you gorgeous lady. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you've been having a good day and that your weekend's off to a great start. This is cool. All right, I'm gonna set that right there. And we are going to paint one of the roses. And then I'm gonna be looking at them because they've both been painted the same way so far. So I'm gonna do the layers on this one and then we'll compare them both to see how they contrast. One painted, one unpainted. Under the black light. That's what I'm thinking. All right, now so for the rose, I really like to just kind of hold it this way, where I'm holding the petal back and then applying the paint. This is also if you've airbrushed color onto something, going over it with acrylic, it kind of almost behaves like a little bit of an acrylic sealant, but it also glows. So like I don't worry so much about varnish anymore. I'm just like put the glow layer on it. But sometimes, you know, it's like the glow is like the highlighter that you'd put like over your blush if you're doing like fairy makeup. Less can be, well, you want to use it strategically. You don't want to just cover your face in a pearlescent mica powder. Voice of experience. But you want to use it to like highlight. So I don't want to just do a flat, solid, matte glow. I want, if I can make it glow from purple to blue, that's what I want to do. You need the black lights I have. They're rechargeable and you can use it in your booth. They're called rechargeable blacklight, battery-powered blacklight, cordless, ultraviolet floodlight. Okay. On Amazon. We'll look those up, Saki Girl, because we want to get some more. Question, is a blacklight the same as a blacklight bulb that you put in a lamp? I think so. We don't have any lamps in the booth to put a light bulb in, so we just buy the floodlight ones because they are very, very intense and they put off a whole lot more of a glow, we've found, than the black light bulbs that we used to get. Alright, so now that we've done those big outer leaves, I'm going to start just kind of just dry brushing across the tips of the roses. Y'all are going to laugh at me, but I've started watering my roses in my garden and they've started growing. And I'm here after gardening for almost 20 years. I'm being like, wow, who'd have thought? But really, it never occurred to me that I needed to water my roses. I was just like, I don't know why they're not doing well. I water everything else in the garden. But they're doing well. Sorry, side quest went my brain. Squirrel. But yeah, I was on the phone with my mama and she was like, I don't think she watches any of my stuff or any of my garden vlogs or anything, but it's like she was talking about how she was talking to her mail carrier about the roses because my mom grows great roses. Apparently, watering them helps because she was telling me that she told the mailman that Randy goes, I don't believe it. She was telling the mailman that, yeah, you just gotta water them because she does like drip irrigation on hers. So, and I was just like, you water roses? Like, come on, Vaughn. I took the master gardener class and everything, and it's just, I don't know. They did fine most of the time, but like in Tennessee, you don't have to water stuff as much because it rains out of the sky almost every day. Yeah, cool and wet climate. Okay, y'all ready? Because here we go. So this one is the one that has been painted with, shoot, did I just mix them up? This one is the one that has been painted. Y'all, send help. There's no difference. Are you shitting me? Randy. There's no difference. I gotta paint the other one though, just to get it to match. We'll see how the time will tell. When the sun sets, we'll charge them up with a black light and see. Because it really does take like 2 or 3 layers to like get a good effect. Oh, Michelle, I'm glad you think so. I used the magic of fashion today to help me to hopefully not be a grumpy troll of a goblin all day. And it did help a little. I tried to do space buns earlier, but they like, ooh, so heavy, like too much. But it was fun. The power of playing dress up is a powerful one. Painting more petals. How you doing over there, baby? I'm doing pretty well. Just getting these roses painted. Hoping things go real smooth at Dragonfly. If I could manifest, everybody's gonna get there safe and sound with no adventure. Like, I want the most adventure to be finding our favorite candy at Buc-ee's. Like, that's the limit of adventure that I'm interested in. What? I need 3 of those inflatable beavers. I don't know why he takes me anywhere. I don't know why I talk out loud. Because I said that to that poor cashier. And the way she looked at me, it was like I wasn't even the first person to have said it. But that's fine. It made Randy laugh, and that was kind of the whole point. So after a 14-hour drive, I'm here on, like, cheer squad patrol. Like, I'm like, you can do it, Hetty. Falling asleep in the passenger seat. Randy is working on playing his video game right now because he's not working on nothing. He finished every single color. A shoulder, like one for each shoulder, in a small and a large size for every single color of scales that we have, except for pink or orange, because those just don't sell well for us. Like, we've got so much pink and orange stuff from years past that I'm like, we're not making any more of it. People can custom order it if they want hot pink or bronzy orange. Like, but he got all those scale tops, or those scale shoulders made. He got all the rings open, like 3,000 more rings. Like, in the past week, I think Randy's worked with 3 pounds, so 9,000 rings of like 16 gauge 5/16 inch rings. So he's earned his break. If I need any modding, I think he's got me up in the background. But I wonder if YouTube did an artificial, like, oh, it's your first vertical stream, we're going to put you in front of everybody. Which is fine, but I'm really interested in us getting Meld up and going so that we can dual stream to Kick. And, you know, we'll see how it goes.
When I looked into it last, Drake Kim was not.
Okay. Would we have to download like Streamlab or something?
Not necessarily. You just have to wait that you're plugged in
Joy-Con. Alrighty. I'm gonna do another layer on these. What style? These are like mum style flowers, like a chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, mums. It looks like mums or asters. Though asters have a little bit more of a yellow center, don't they? Saki Girl says, "Go Randy!" Right? I think he's playing Dark Age of Camelot. Lydia says, "You know I'm a gamer." I call it his mistress. It's the game he played before we even met. And every so often, he'll go back to playing it, and I'm like, it's just gonna break your heart. And he's like, I know, but, you know, they made this change, or they're doing this, or I just miss it. And I'm like, okay. But he's enjoying himself this time around, so I don't mind it. But I just, like, I'd come into the room, and he'd have, you know, something pulled up on his phone, and he'd go like this, and I'm like, and he's like, it's porn. Like, it's you. And I'll be like, it's Dark Age of Camelot, isn't it? And he's like, yes. So, but, goodness gracious. And this is why I get shadow banned on TikTok live streaming. Oh well. Miss me. There we go. But yeah, we just get settled into the groove of it, and by having quite a few pieces to work on, by the time I get back around to the roses, they'll be ready, hopefully, for their next layer. Whoopsie. Ooh, roses want hot heads and cold feet. Right on. Which I did mulch them too for the first time in over 10 years. I mulched my roses. So hopefully they'll enjoy that. Ooh. And also, once we get that first layer on, it sits on top of itself really well. So I'm not having to put as much product on to get like good coverage. Ooh, this one's still kind of wet. All right. So I'll go ahead and hold my horses. Randy's playing Dark Age of Camelot, Lydia. All right. Now, I know it's already probably pretty loud because of the air conditioning unit, but I'm going to do some scales out of foam. I have some cut out already, but I need to shape them. So that's going to be what we're doing together for the next little bit. Just waiting on this stuff to dry. Let me scooch the tripod for a moment. Uh-oh. That's an uh-oh over. Haha, I found them. I It's more like a background noise, the AC. Right on. Well, prepare yourself for more background noise. Background noise intensifies. So I'm going to take my heat gun. I'm going to untangle it from my glue gun cord. And I like to sit it right here, wedged at an angle between the stone block that I use. This is like a bit of granite countertop that was like display for like Lowe's, and they were just gonna throw it away. And one of our buddies, he used to work at Lowe's, was like, "Do you want this?" And I was like, and so they had like 6 granite countertop, like big old squares that are like the best work surfaces. So that for free, just picked out of the trash, and I was like, "Ooh, yes." So I'm gonna turn it on medium. Now we punched these out using what's called an English point strap end cutter. It's a leather working tool. You would take it and set it in the right drawer. It's for finishing like the ends of belts and straps, but it's a nice like curved point. And then we're gonna take it and put it over the heat. And then flip it. This is time consuming. Oh no! And then once it's good and warm, I'll need to give it a minute because it'll start to like droop. And then I flip it and heat it until it droops the other way. Ooh, my fingies. And then I fold it in half, and I'm pulling just along the back there because I want to give it a nice scale pattern. And then I let it cool, basically still folded in half, because it'll relax out later whenever we hot glue it. So Hawk says, I know, is this too loud, you guys? Hawk says, I know the other night that I was going to wake up early in the morning and go cultivate potatoes. I have 2 big, huge buckets of potatoes growing, and they were ready to be picked up out of the earth. Okay, so I got up early in the morning and went out to cultivate them, only just the deer had been out there, and I have 2 buckets. I only got 7 potatoes. They'd eaten all the rest. Oh my God, I had no idea deer ate taters. I mean, taters are good, though. I can't blame them. But you know what goes good with taters? Venison. Yeah, Michelle says, so what you're saying is you grow some good potatoes. Oh, thank you, Saki girl. She says, remember to give Vaughn's video a thumbs up. I appreciate you. I'm just trying to find my place in this world, it seems. I used to think that I knew where I needed to be, like in an online sort of space. And now it's like, I feel like just a wandering artist. Like I don't feel at home on any particular platform because it's, you know, I want so badly to feel at home on YouTube, but it's y'all make me feel welcome, so I appreciate that. So I came in and made potato salad. That's what I'm eating now. Nice. One man's trash is another man's treasure, isn't it just? And so I just fold them, and then I give it a good firm pinch, because you really want this to be warm enough that even when it gets warm again, it'll try to stay in this shape. We grew some potatoes this year. Actually, this was the best potato crop I've ever had, and it was all reseeded from potatoes that... Did I buy a seed potato this year? I didn't. It was all reseeded from last year. Huh? It was all volunteer. There were a couple potatoes that I hid in the yard that were like house potatoes that were from the store that like went bad. Like they got like all sprouty and squishy and angry looking. So I hit them in the dirt, but I don't know how many of them took off. So shaping that down like that. Now these we're going to be painting red for the fire dragon. So that's going to be really cool, I think. Just heating up that foam. Woo! Burning my fingers. The trick is to stay just far enough over from the heat that my fingers aren't getting burnt, but that my foam is right in the line of heat. Do house elves eat potatoes? Have you had potatoes? Like, they are awesome. If I were any sort of creature with a digestive tract, I would want to eat potatoes. Like, hey Zola, how are you doing today? House potatoes. Ooh, this stone's hard on my little bony elbows. But yeah, I don't want to hold it too close because you can melt the foam and make it blister a little, and that's not the greatest, like, at all. Made potato salad with my 7 potatoes. How do you make your potato salad? Oh, Saki girl, that's so good to hear. She says, I forgot to share. My dog is all healed up and everything is great. That's high five. That is awesome. Gosh, what a blessing. This heat gun's a trooper. We got it from Harbor Freight, like in 2018, I think, is when I started working with foam. Ooh, homemade fries. Yes. Like the dummy thick ones, or do you like the stringy fries? Okay. Says a lot. We had when we saw Randy's family in Tennessee last, somebody had brought loaded potato salad, and I think that was the fan favorite. That was very, very good. So we're just flipping them over and doing a fold. Don't let it burn to your fingers, because it will. Right? Health is wealth, y'all, for our pets too. Huh? We went to a drum jam in Joplin and it was awesome. I had so much fun, and now I'm like re-addicted to drumming again. I've only gotten to practice like twice this past week, but they were really good practice sessions. And apparently, Randy says I drummed for like an hour and a half solid at the drum jam. So it was so much fun. Sassy Cat says thick ones. Oh yeah. Skin on or skin off? I'll be damned if I'm peeling a potato, so I always eat them skin on. I have to go. Bye, Lydia. Did great at your live stream tonight. Steak fries crispy on the outside and soft inside. Starting to rumble like rain? With boiled eggs, onions, mayo, and brown mustard, turmeric, and salt and pepper. I sometimes put in black olives if I have them. Right on. I'd eat that. Randy's not a fan of black olives, but I'll eat them. Hey Esther, how are you doing today? We are just shaping some foam. You know, if I were a good YouTuber, I'd put something cool right here. That way people who are just like stuffing them. Because everybody has these like pro looking sets, you know? This way y'all can actually see what I'm trying to work on. Just over my shoulder. So I'm working on some of the scales that are going to be going on the back side of this lava dragon's glorious noggin. Add bacon and pickle juice, and I'm in. Hot dog, that sounds good. Bye, Lydia. Whew. Either is fine. Right on always. I just feel like it's free nutrients. And with potatoes, whenever you cut them up, you get some of them without any of the skin on it. So it's like having both. Forget fancy backgrounds. Yeah, but now I can just point. It'll make more sense. It's like I'm working on the scales for this. So it's going to be painted in that color scheme. Now this one that's behind me, we sculpted the face like originally in 2019, and it just had the one eye in the forehead, but it always looked kind of half done. And so I'm really excited to be, I'll forget fancy backgrounds, yours is real. It's honest, if nothing else. There's not we have a green screen in this house. I don't have anywhere to set it up. It would just be in the way. So the scales are foam. This is 2mm EVA foam, or the Silly Winks from Hobby Lobby. It's the same stuff. You can get higher quality EVA foam online that has the Silly Winks is fine because I'm not trying to get like a mirror finish. If I were making foam trying to make it look like metal, I'd want to go with something maybe a little higher quality than the Silly Winks that wouldn't have, sometimes there'll be like just a little hole in the foam, but this is fine. Ooh, you mash the potatoes before adding everything? I'm not gonna lie, the way to my heart is, one of the ways to my heart is through my stomach. For sure. And y'all make me fall in love with you every time you talk about food. It doesn't even have to be something that I know that I like. Just your enthusiasm for it. I'm like, yeah. Then what? What'd you do? What'd you do to the potatoes next, Hawk? Yeah. Mash them up, cut them in stew. Oh, I always make mashed potato salad because I cooked my potatoes for too long. That's rough. Oh, pad thai tonight. Y'all, I had pho, P-H-O, for the first time. It was so good. Do what? Pho you, yeah. Oh my god, I would lose my shit. We gotta figure out, Stephanie made this really great spreadsheet that I need to get put up onto the community page. That way people can say what they're bringing. That way we don't have a bunch of people all bringing, as much as I would delight in sampling everyone's potato salads, we don't need 12 different potato salads. You know what I mean? For the potluck. Do you just paint or some other kind of finish? I'm going to be doing a couple of different layers of paint on these scales. I like to do the shaping first because not a whole lot of paint does well underneath the heat gun. It's work. My little fingers are bleeding. Not bleeding, burning. The community page is here on YouTube, and I haven't really figured out how to access it yet. I was going to put a link to it in the next newsletter once I got it set up, but that was kind of going to be a after dragon thing for me to focus on. Ooh, a potato salad party? I mean, maybe. I remember as a kid at the campground, because 10 points to Gryffindor if you knew, but I grew up at a nudist camp, hence the free spirit. It was some of the best years of my childhood. But on Saturdays at the clubhouse, they would have potlucks, themed potlucks and stuff. And my favorites were when they would have the chili cook-off, because it would just be 15 different varieties of chili, and you get to sample all of them. And I don't do spicy food, so I would just eat my dad's chili, but I loved my dad's chili. It is the most mild chili from the Betty Crocker cookbook. Or was it Better Homes? And I don't know, but it's good. It's just tomato paste and beans mostly. But I'd love getting to eat all the different varieties of chili. And then, like, that was the first time I'd ever had chili on a baked potato. There's chili and cornbread, that's classic. Like, there's chili and saltines. Somebody brought oyster crackers, and y'all, we never bought oyster cracker. We had one kind of cracker, two kinds of crackers in our house. Saltines and Ritz. And Ritz were the fancy ones. They were like store brand, but that's when it was like, ooh, bougie. Or on top of the tuna noodle goo. Ooh, Hungarian goulash. I'm all about the shifting paint. Beautiful. Nice. All right. My heat gun sounds like it's struggling. So we've got enough scales. I think this is going to be a pretty decent start. Freaking elbow, though. Holy. Oh, well. Wow. Scrooge McDucking in my scales. All right. Let me put this back in its holster so that I don't get burnt on it. And we're gonna do like a fire truck red for the base. Lipstick red. I stand corrected. This is gonna be our base. All right, on Walk in the Rain says the potlucks I remember as a child were at church. Oh, that's very wholesome. But I mean, to me, the potlucks at the nudist camp were awesome. And we did go to church on Sundays. They called him Dan the Preacher Man, would do church service at the gazebo. And my dad would go to those, and I would go and play in the pond. They were good times. There's just a bunch of hippies. Just a bunch of hippies in the woods. Club crackers were the fancy ones at my house as a kid. Right on. Were the club or townhouse fancy for you as a kid, babe?
Anything over saltine.
Anything other than saltine? Probably my favorite cracker is those, and Randy doesn't much care for these, which, that's alright, he doesn't like pretzels, but the ones that are like half cracker, half pretzel, oh my god, you guys, have you had those? They're so good. They're so good. How did they even do that? Like, how did they get pretzel side and then flaky cracker side? Can't even. Can't even. The future is now. I gotta move the tripod. All right. All right. Hey, Steffi, how's it going? A GB. What's a GB? Good goulash? Okay. So this is, and I also really like Folk Art's pretty good, but some of the brands, you get what you pay for, and it's really nice to have a heavy-bodied paint. Just because you're going to start racking up time on how long it takes to paint something, and then to have to do another, like, layer. So there's one scale. And I'm just going to set that off to the side. We're going to put some in the cap here, just because that's how I roll. I think I'm just going to post it to the Back to Earth Creations Facebook page. That way they post the link. Like, I really appreciate you, Stephanie, making that. Yeah, club crackers are delicious. Sometimes people would bring, like, you know, gosh, even just like the basic, like, charcuterie in a box. Those are some of my favorites. Of, like, just like veggies and stuff. Like the meats and cheeses and like fancy different kinds of crackers. Those were so fun. Oh, I'm not even in frame. I had a family reunion last month and did homemade chili dog sauce and dogs. The sauce turned out amazing. It's really good with hot dog and Doritos. Oh, that sounds good, Sassy Cat. Yeah, for anybody who didn't know, next month, September, oh my god, it's next month. It's the last weekend of September. We are having a camp along where we are camping at Sequoia State Park in Oklahoma. Everybody's invited. If you'd like more information, please send me an email and I'll send you more of the info. And yeah, we'll need to check the availability, but Yvette said that there's like hotels and stuff in town not too far away too. So there's definitely options. Like you don't have to go camping, but we are having a potluck at 4 p.m. on Saturday, and we were going to kind of have like just like craft tables set up to just kind of be hanging out and crafting in the woods, and we're going to have like a rave, like an 8 p.m. rave, possibly. I'm going to be poi dancing, like spinning poi and hoop dancing and wearing glow sticks, and y'all are invited to join me. I gotta see how long I can run my bubble machine off of the Jackery, though. In Wagner, Oklahoma, nacho cheese Doritos. That's some good stuff, y'all. Oh my god, have you ever had the HEB Doritos, like nacho cheese chips? Goodness gracious, they taste just like how a Dorito's supposed to. Yep, just like my memory of a Dorito when I was a kid. Crisp and everything. But it's just, I'm really looking forward to this year. Like, I'm bracing myself for it to be the worst year ever, like weather-wise, because the past 2 years have been so perfect as far as the weather goes. Like, truly. So, I'm bracing myself this year, but we'll see. It might be perfect again. Who knows? We did. The last comment I saw, Stephanie says, I also made a GB. I don't know what a GB is. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's probably going to take like 2 layers of this paint. Now, one of the paints that's really, really good is the, shoot, I can't remember the name of it. It's, well, I'll just have to dig it out of the drawer and see. I'll be right back. Taco Doritos, good too. Oh, yes. Doritos Locos Tacos. Okay, so these are the Plaid FX paints. Yeah, so also the same folks who do folk art, but this is like a much heavier bodied paint. So I'm actually gonna squeegee that on back into the bottle because I want to see how these cleaning my brush. All right. So now I'm going to be using, this is their Bloodline. Ooh, fancy names for things. And we'll see how this looks in comparison. To the folk art, just standard paint. But this is the FX is a very flexible paint, like it was formulated for on foam and leather. Oh, okay. But it would be a place for us to chat about the camp along. Is it a Facebook group? Oh, that'd be cool. I'm gonna have to be completely honest with you. That's very like awesome of you that you made that, but I'm terrified of Facebook groups because of things that have it's nothing that y'all have done. It's just things that I've been through in the past. I'm like really, really hesitant, and I don't have a good explanation as for why. It's just very scary to me. So like, give me a couple of days to think on it. But like, I wish I understood the anxiety in my chest right now. Like, if that makes sense. Oh my god, called Bond's Monsters. It's amazing. What? Edwin says, Yo, Vaughn, why do I feel that I'm in for a divorce if I don't buy that swirl dragon head for Michelle? Cause it's awesome. Randy says, hopefully that's not the case. I hope that too. We both really like you, but Michelle also really likes this dragon head. How are you doing, Edwin? Have you seen it? I hope y'all still like it whenever we get it painted, truly. And there's no pressure at all. Like, I know I've been sending Michelle pictures of it and stuff, but there's zero pressure to buy it. Michelle. She says, love my ass off. Is she over there just like secretly whispering in your ear? Like, buy it. And the thing is too, is I don't know what the prices on these are going to be yet. So like, I don't want to make it like, be like, oh, well, they're going to buy it. And then make it like super expensive. Like, I don't know, like freaking out mode activate. So yeah, these are definitely, this is a really cool experiment to see how these look differently. To see how the different paints are holding up. Now that they're not exactly the same tone, but I didn't have the same tone. But just seeing the coverage off of the same manner of application. Things just went so sour for, at least from Randy and I's end, whenever we had the Discord. And it was just, because, I mean, 99% of the people are, like, great, but it's having to deal with the administrative stuff of, you know, whenever there's some of them that aren't, and it's like, can y'all just behave? And it felt terrible. Like, it genuinely felt terrible. And it's whenever we were literally in the basement with the trees shaking around the house, tornado sirens going off, like, scary wind. Like, Randy and I were holding each other like this could be it. You know, the end of our time on this earth. And our Discord was freaking blowing up with somebody's drama that, like, they were contacting us directly with. And it's like, y'all, we're friendly, but we're professionals too. Like, can you please give us a moment to die in peace? But I'm not good at setting boundaries, and I learned that pretty quick with Discord, because it's like, you know, we'd be answering comments and stuff at like 2 in the morning, which is perfectly fine for people to post things at 2 in the morning, like you do your schedule, but I didn't know how in myself to switch off that obligation to, you know, interact. And then sometimes at a party, if you're not paying attention to folks, there's always somebody sneaking over and shitting in the chips. And that's what the Discord had turned into, was there was always somebody shitting in the chips. And that's when I decided managing people was not for me. Hey, Rainbow, how's it going? Yeah. Sassy. No pressure to do what you need to do on it. It will be what it be. It's like you're in my head with the design. Oh, really? Make the page private. That would be a good idea. Adult babysitting. I'm not here for it. Like... And I've been successfully avoiding dealing with those feelings for like a while, like 5 years. So I should probably deal with it and figure it out and move on so that I can participate like a normal person on the internet. Okay, so all of our scales are still wet, but you can kind of see that like the translucency sort of that paint. Yeah, so I think having something where I can just post stuff and have people like just post it to like even just a link on our website and then have people just go in and fill in, I'm bringing, paper cups and hot dogs. It's like, check. Now nobody else needs to bring hot dogs. Unless, like, I don't know, I always travel with my own personal stash of hot dogs when we're camping. Just to make sure that we've got what we need. But, like, for as far as, like, a communal meal goes. For sure, Bond creations are what I like to splurge on. Oh, shit. Right on. Well, I'm in full support of you having the group, Stephanie, truly. And if folks like want to hang out and stuff in it. But, I think that's healthy. So I think for a while there was like a group chat of like folks hanging out and stuff that Randy and I weren't even in. So it was like, that's perfect. Hot dogs and the no shit chips. Yep. That would be a really cool look when it all comes together. I hope so. Now the problem is we have to wait for this to dry. So while these are drying, let me carefully take my glove off. I like to turn the fingers as completely inside out as I can. That way my sweaty hand sweat will evaporate. And then I can reuse the glove. But now the glue gun or the heat gun's still pretty warm. But we can heat it up. We can go ahead and make some more scales. Oh, well, thank you so much, Sassy Cat. It's very kind of you to say. Michelle says we still have the group chat. And I'm over here like, I want to join, but I'm terrified of talking to my friends. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'll go and hang out with y'all in the woods. Like, not gonna lie, Randy texts Maddie for me. Like, Maddie, who I love, like, she's my favorite person, like, on the whole planet except for Randy. And it's like, and I'm still, like, weird about texting, and I'm trying to be better about it, but it's difficult to try to fix something that I don't understand, if that makes sense. Getting that shaping down. There's drama in there as well. Not much. I think the person is gone again. Oh, gotcha. Right on. I don't even... It makes me nervous just to hear about it. I hope everybody's okay, but... Friend phobia, is that a thing? Squirrel, dragon head, must see. Ah, squirrel. Okay. Y'all want to see this one glow? 3 minutes. Glue's not... Or, this ain't gonna be dry in time. We'll post work in progress videos. We'll post progress videos of how it comes together. So, and there's every day we're just whittling away, chiseling a millimeter at a time on these different projects. Prepare yourselves, you guys, because this one, I thought steam was my favorite. Those eyes, though. The fluorescing on this one is for real, and this color scheme up here is going to be repeated over the horns, and this one has a dreadlock panel, like a mohawk. that I'm going to add some feathers into as well. That goes as the counterweight. So like these horns are going to be painted to match these horns. And then these scales and stuff are going to be painted to match along the face and stuff. So I am like super, and check this out. You ready? The dreadlocks freaking fluoresce as well, you guys. I just want to go to raves and belly dance in dragon costumes. I don't know why that isn't happening right this second, but this is what I'm preparing for. Is going to raves and belly dancing with like, we'll probably have a couple of those black lights that you were telling us about that are cordless. So if you're ever wondering, if you ever send an email or a text message or something of the sort and you don't hear back, it's because I have some sort of undiagnosed anxiety and I'm in the corner dressed as a dragon listening to loud EDM. So I don't know what it's called, but I love it. So thank you guys. We'll belly dance for food. I have hoop danced for cookies before. Just the once. But man, I was so close to having that whole box of Samoas. And then Randy had to cookie block me. I had never before seen two nerds do like a posture off. Because the dude who was going to give me the box of cookies didn't know that Randy and I were there together. I didn't know that that's why he was luring me with cookies, was to try to like talk like as like well, I think, you know, and he seemed a nice enough gentleman. If I were a single lady, I'd have hung out with him for some cookies for sure. Like, but Randy came walking up and he started this fella in like a yellow Star Trek, like he had the communicator and everything, like he looked right from the movie, except for that he was, or from the show, except for that he was wearing a kilt as well. And then and so Randy's, you know, coming up with purpose because Randy had just brought the car around and I was hula hooping, reaching for the cookies. and he started posturing up like, I seen her first. And then Randy started like posturing up, and it's just like seeing the roosters like when their feathers start to puff and they make themselves very big. And I was just like, dude, I just want cookies. And Randy doesn't like the Samoas because they have like not oatmeal, coconut in them. And so it's like, that's fine. I still got one. I was gonna get the whole box though. So yeah, your girl will dance for cookies. Bye, Hawk. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by today in our live stream. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend. We have another shop update and giveaway coming around on Monday. We have another tutorial coming in on Thursday evening. What do y'all think of that? Like, I appreciated everybody commenting, and we didn't have a premiere, but I did try to answer everybody's comments live as it happened, like as the comments were coming in for like the hour after posting the video. So that was really cool. And then we'll see you again in next week's live stream, where the goal that I have for this week is to be done with these 3 heads, with the spiral, with the 2019, and with that bugly-eyed one with all the horns who's just back there looking at us like, kill me. But no. And that guy who was the very first one that I started, but I don't really know where to go with him. So that is my goal. Stay tuned to our different social media and stuff. Like I've mentioned before, we will be posting progress updates, and I will see you guys next time. So until then, thank you and happy crafting. Mwah. Bye. I appreciate you guys. I really do. I know I can be a bit of a nut, but thank you guys for, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but thank you to all of y'all who stop by for a sip now and then. So mwah. Bye.